Hello there, everyone. It's Patricia Hayes here. Glad to be back. It's been a few days. It's been crazy kind of week or so. So I wanted to come and make sure and check in and do a little video chat with you all. Last week we talked about walking in your strength, and we had a whole 5-6 day series on that, and got kind of intense. I hope you all enjoyed that. I think I'll be putting it together as a little giveaway item so that you can have that full collection. So keep an eye out for that and make sure and plug in to get it. But so we're moving on, and this week, in the month of September, we are talking about overcoming overwhelm. And my goodness, how rich is that, right? There's so many things to go there. But in the context of transitioning, in the context of moving on to fulfill your personal success, whatever that may be, it is so easy for us to get caught up in all the details and to decide, why am I even bothering with this? Because, this is crazy. There's just too much to do. And so before you get there and to that point, I want to encourage you to step back and take a breather. And I can say this because I personally am completely a planning control freak, and I really want to plan things out to the ninth degree, and I want to know what's going to happen in 2 weeks and 3 days and all of that. But over the course of the last few years, particularly as I have gone on my own and doing some work, I have had to let go of a few of those control freak tendencies. And the reason why is because it is too easy to get yourself completely overwhelmed by everything that you think that you have to do. And if you don't want to be completely exhausted, discouraged, and this just done, you have to step back from that. So I will tell you, I've had those moments. I have those moments today when it's not even a matter of trying to work through what's going to happen in a month. Right now, I'm just trying to work through what's going to happen in the next 24 hours. And so you really do have to take a step back, breathe, and think about what it is that you want, what it is you're trying to accomplish in that moment for today, for the next week, and how best you can approach that and break it down into manageable tasks. There's that great little buzzword out there about chunking things out, taking it down, breaking it down into manageable chunks. And that's really a very true and very, it's not a cliche, it's something that's very true, is you do have to bring things down to a manageable level. But that's not just in tasks. I'm talking about in your mindset and in how you approach things. Because before I can even create a task, my head, I have got it to get it all worked out, because I will have 1,000 things going on here. Now, on the one side, in one way, I'm really great. I can compartmentalize things easily, and I do that, and that's how I've been able to manage things that were stressful situations or crisis situations, and in the midst of some chaos. And people are like, how can you remain calm? Well, I'm a totally different person in middle of crisis. I'm like scarily calm. I start processing things. I can see things just as clear as bell. But when it comes to the daily, day-to-day things and getting caught up and like, oh my gosh, this has to be done and that has to be done and this bill needs to be paid and I got to take care of it. How am I going to make that happen? Well, even I can become a blubbering mess in that sometimes. And I admit I have at some point in time. So that's when I have to take my own advice and step back and think. Give yourself some time to think more clearly. A lot of times when I realize I'm completely overwhelmed like that, I am also very sleep deprived. The two go hand in hand, because if you are hungry and sleep deprived, that is a combination for a bad attitude. And then you add on top of that a whole list of quote to-dos that need to be done and needed to be done yesterday. That is a recipe for overwhelm if I ever saw one. So speaking from experience, it's that whole toddler syndrome, when you have your kid, or so you see someone else's kid who's completely acting out and has like lost their mind. They are just like losing it. And you're like, what the devil is wrong with him? And I know with my own kids, I take a breather before I'm about to go into a screaming hissy fit. And I'm like, wait, they've been up for X number of hours. They have not had a nap. They've not been sleeping. They haven't had enough food. Okay, let me take a step back here. And I'll be like, son, daughter, I love you. You need to go eat. You need to go drink your water, and you need to go lay down, or you need to go to bed. Period. Well, guess what? Those kids of mine, those aren't toddlers anymore. That's a teenager and a preteen that I'm talking about. The same thing applies to us as adults, as grown people. We need to put ourselves in time out, and it's hard to do, but you need to do it proactively as opposed to reactively. Because when you do it reactively, I will tell you, when I get put in timeout and I didn't manage that myself, that's when I literally come home, I crawl into bed, and let's say it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, most likely on a Friday, and I do not wake up till like 4 a.m. the next morning. I have done it. My family knows, do not bother me. I'm completely dead to the world. They could have come in, fire alarms could have gone off. I mean, I am not functional. That means I've let things go way too long, and I didn't manage my time. I didn't manage my expectations well, and I didn't get enough rest in order to do it all. So put yourself in timeout, breathe, make sure you've eaten, make sure you get some sleep, and then take the time to have some thought time. Don't just react to everything you're doing. Be proactive. Sit down, have a little focus time, even if it's an hour or two. If you need to accumulate that in 15-minute chunks, it's really important to have that focus time. Again, those are one of the activities I've been engaging in for a very long time, long before I went out on my own, but even more so now that I am, because I don't have someone standing over me and say, I need this done, this done, and this done. I have to manage my time on my own, and it can easily get overwhelming. So what I do is, for me, I set aside a certain day of the week that, absent a schedule that changes, that Mondays is my focus day. That's my day to catch up on the things that I need to get caught up on, to sit, to think, to process, and so that I can, and to plan what I need to do for the next week, for the next month, whatever it is, right? Set that time aside for yourself. Again, it may not be a whole day if you're not on your own. It may be an hour on a Sunday afternoon. It may be in 4 15-minute blocks. But put it on your schedule, make it happen. That is how you can help overcome overwhelm in your own life on a realistic daily basis, is to set aside that time. Make sure that you stay fed and sleep just like your toddlers, and to create a plan of what it is, prioritizing what it is you want to get done and by when. Because sometimes we make our expectations too great, right? Again, Miss Overachiever here. I can have a list that's 1,000 things long, but bottom line, it comes down to, there's only 3 that's crucial, that it needs to get addressed right away. The rest are just wants. So schedule them out. My coach is talking about that. Put that crap on your calendar, and when you move it around, guess what? It makes it way easier to manage when you realize that's a task, that's not necessarily a goal, and you need to treat them as such. So a few tips for overcoming overwhelm. We'll talk a little bit more about it this week, in the blog, on the Facebook page, and also in the Celebrate You Empowerment Network private group. So if you want some more details on all of that, just go do a search and in Facebook, or look me up on the Facebook page or in LinkedIn. All right, have a great week, and we look forward to seeing great things from you. All right, take care. Bye.